What's good, everyone? This is your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at. Clearly, you see the title of the broadcast, and yes, the thing of this is they've come out with the reports about synthetic hair, and at the same time, though, too, I know a lot of my African American sisters tend to like to wear this type of stuff and things like that, and it's also causing a huge problem. And yes, the thing of this is what it when you put chemicals or anything in your hair, stuff like that, and attach it to your body, it's just like with tattoos or anything like that. Once you add stuff into your body, inside or out, it will have an effect on you, regardless of what it is. So we're gonna go here now and we're gonna check some things out. We're gonna see what the reports have to say about this situation. Shout out to all my black sisters out there. We just want to see you guys healthy, and please, like we always say as men, we really not wanting y'all to wear all this stuff like that. And the reports are coming out now that it's making you guys unhealthy. And man, it's just sad out here. So let's dive off into it. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
A new Consumer Reports investigation is raising concerns about synthetic braiding hair, something used by countless people, especially Black women and children.
Well, testing found potentially dangerous chemicals, including cancer-causing substances, in 100% of the hair samples. So what does that mean for you? News 4's Jumi Olabanji is breaking down the concerning findings and sharing tips on how to stay safe.
For many people, braided hairstyles are more than just fashion. They're a time-tested tradition that makes hair care easier.
I like to wear braids because it saves me time in the morning. They're convenient. You can just style it and just go.
Now, a new investigation by Consumer Reports is raising alarming questions about the safety of synthetic braiding hair. 10 popular synthetic braiding hair products were tested. The results are troubling. Every sample contained carcinogens, chemicals that may cause cancer.
3 of the samples tested positive for benzene, a carcinogen that is highly regulated and discouraged for use in laboratories because of the potential to cause cancer.
James Rogers, who led CR's synthetic hair testing, says testing found lead in 90% of the product.
There is no safe levels of lead. Our risk assessments and exposure models indicate that for users of these 9 products, they could be exposed to concerning levels of lead over time.
Now, to speak upon that, the reason why back in the 70s, there was a change in the paint that was used in homes and stuff like that, because the paint back in the day used to have lead in it, and children would be exposed to the paint in these homes and stuff like that, especially in the Black community and things like that. Look it up. It's very much real. It's a very real situation that used to go down. And they stopped putting lead in paint because children were dying, getting very ill, things like that in homes and stuff, adults as well. But lead is very unsafe, regardless of what level you have of lead. It's truly unsafe. We do not use lead anymore for anything that, gets close to us as human beings.
The risks don't stop there. When the hair is dipped in hot water during installation, a standard practice, it releases volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, that can irritate eyes, throat, and lungs.
Right. And as you have seen, anybody that's ever been to get their hair done, especially the ladies, stuff like that, a few men may know, may not. But when you go into some of these salons and stuff like that, they have these masks on when they're doing hair and things like that. They have them on for a reason. So if they have to use a mask to do women's hair, I would think that it's something wrong there, because why would you need a mask to, install hair? We have to really think these things through. And nobody's really thought about this. Nobody's really now they're bringing these facts up to light, especially for our sisters and things like that. This is very dangerous. And that's what's been going on with a lot of our sisters out here. That's the reason why they're having a lot of health issues, things like that, probably leading to, pregnancy issues. It's a lot of things behind this that can come from this situation. Let's keep going.
Contacted all the brands for comment. Only 2, Sensationelle and Magic Fingers, responded, both disagreeing with CR's test methodology. Hair Zone Sensationelle said, we unequivocally stand by the safety of Sensational products, and our company urges consumers to continue to confidently use Sensational products. Magic Fingers said, "We strongly stand by the safety of our products and the quality materials used to make them. If you use synthetic braids or if you install them, experts recommend the following safety precautions to reduce risks. Check for product recalls, read labels carefully, and limit how long you wear the style."
Now, why would you have to do all this if the quote unquote hair was safe and these corporations that we just saw that said that they stand by their products and things like that, if they were so safe, then why would you have to check for recalls and read labels carefully and, you know, limit the length that you wear your hairstyle? Now, I also know, especially growing up in the Black community and things like that, that a lot of the sisters do tend to wear these hairstyles a lot longer than what they probably should, due to economic situations, things like that. Definitely when they get the braids and stuff, like the lady said previously, they get those because at the end of the day, it stays up longer. You can keep maintenance on them a little bit longer, and they won't have to take care of their natural hair as much. I don't get it anymore. Growing up back in the day when I was a child, a lot of Black young women that I went to school with, they wore a lot of natural hair. Women, grown women too, they used to use pressing curls and stuff like that, irons and things, you know, in the house and stuff. And they would, you know, deal with their natural hair. It's until recently now that we've had this situation to where, you know, Black women are not wanting to, you know, use, you know, hot combs and stuff like that anymore.
If you've experienced reactions to synthetic braiding hair, Consumer Reports recommends talking to your doctor and consider filing a report with the FDA.
That's crazy. You got to file a report with the FDA behind putting behind putting fake hair in your head. That ought to wake a lot of people up. So we're going to keep going here because, of course, there's more, and we got this side of the game here too. Let's go here now.
There is a new health warning this morning about synthetic hair used in popular protective styles like braids and extensions.
For many Black women, braiding with synthetic hair extensions isn't just about style. It's a go-to for protecting and growing their hair. But a new study from Consumer Reports is raising serious concerns. They found 10 products contained ingredients that can cause cancer, and most of these also contained lead.
NBC News Daily anchor Zinkley Esamoah is here with more. Zinkley, good morning. So this is a pretty alarming report. Walk us through what researchers found and why it's such a big concern.
Hey, good morning, Joe and Savannah. So alarming really is the right word. As you mentioned, they looked at 10 different products from multiple companies, and the findings were that 100% of these products contained carcinogens. Of course, carcinogens have the potential to cause cancer. 9 out of 10 contained lead, and all of them, 100%, contained VOCs, or volatile organic compounds. All of those, of course, known to potentially cause and have harmful health effects. If we put that in context, just look at the state of California. That means that 9 out of 10 of these products exceeded California's maximum recommendations for allowed lead by 600%. Notably, synthetic hair is not regulated by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, and that is what this report now has many calling for. We reached out to the Environmental Working Group. They're a health research and advocacy organization. They said in part that while most of these products are below the FDA standard for lead contamination, when possible, of course, exposure to lead should be avoided. They went on to say that there really is no safe level of exposure to these chemicals, to these compounds.
Wow. So, you know, of course, the FDA, Food Drug Administration, would not be regulating hair. It's, you know, food and drug. You know, that's how they've been getting over with making these hair products and stuff like that for our women, especially in the Black community, because they use them at the utmost rate. You know, it's a $1 billion industry and things like that. Our women do tend to use these products quite heavily as the, you know, as in the Black community. And yes, it's obviously now it's posing a problem. And I'm glad that this is coming to light. It's time for our sisters to wake up and get this stuff out of their head and get this stuff out of their bodies. Seriously.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Seriously. This is harming Black women. This is hurting Black women. Now, despite, you know, us in the Black culture having our tit for tats, definitely when it comes to dating, other things like that. You know what I'm saying? We have to get past that for a second, because this is very serious for our sisters and our daughters and our aunties and our nieces and things like that use these products and stuff. And 600% amount of lead is overwhelming. I mean, hell, 1% is bad, period, already. 600%, it makes no damn sense.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
And this matters because, as you said, braids are often considered a protective hairstyle. We say protective because they can be worn for weeks at a time. They're often used to prevent breakage, to avoid heat styling and excessive manipulation. And so this really has many in the community asking, if these are protective, then why are these harmful chemicals in so many products, guys?
It really is crazy, because there's also concern about hair dye potentially being cancer causing. NBC News just did a big investigation on that. It's very wild when you think about it that none of it's regulated by anybody, not the FDA. What are women who use these products telling you?
Yeah, it's not just hair dye, right? We've talked about hair relaxers as well. Many of these products predominantly used by women of color, Black women. One of them is Crystal Thomas. She said that she decided to get braids for the first time in a decade, and then her symptoms started.
Now, before they allow this young lady to speak, I'm going to say something here as well. Excuse me. We're wondering why in the Black community that our women are having so many mental issues. And I'm going to say this because it's real. When you even digest certain things or eat certain types of foods, or like junk food, stuff like that, that's harmful to your body if you eat overwhelmingly too much of it. If you're putting all these dyes and synthetic hair with lead and stuff like that in your head consistently, and you're wearing these for weeks at a time and things like that, that's going to seep into your scalp. Listen, look, our human skin is a sponge. That's how it works. That's how we're able to, feel things. We feel the air when it blows and stuff like that, because our skin is a living organism, and it soaks up everything that we do. And this is what's going on with a lot of our sisters. And I think the reason why a lot of our sisters are having so many mental issues and stuff like that, they're mad all the time, they're irritated, stuff like that, I think is part of the products and things like that these sisters are having in their hair, and all that lead and everything else is seeping into their scalp and going straight to their brains.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
And I'm not trying to make light of this. I'm not making fun right now. I'm being dead honest serious here. I really think these chemicals are messing up our Black women's mindset and everything else, not let alone the propaganda, whatever else that we as humans have to deal with. But I really think these chemicals are having a huge issue on Black women's thought processes and the way that they need to move in life.
As I kept smelling this, my throat tightened up. It felt very dry, and I noticed my hair was itchy, and it was just difficult to breathe overall. After a week of continuous washing, I said, seeing that the smell didn't go away, I said, you know what? I'm getting rid of these. As consumers, we implicitly want to believe that the products we purchase are safe. That's not always the case.
Now, notably, Crystal Thomas says she has only used synthetic hair for braiding. She's never tried human hair. And her concern is that this is not an anomaly. And so she's hoping that more products will be tested. Of course, Consumer Reports looked at 10 products, but there are a whole lot more on the market. We reached out to all of the companies that were named by Consumer Reports. We did not immediately hear back, but in a statement prior, Kaneka, which is the brand that Crystal Thomas used, told Consumer Reports in part that they manufacture the Kanekalon fibers that are used in hair products, but not the final products. They also said they need more information to analyze that complaint. And just generally, I think everybody is hoping to get a little more information about just what goes into these hair products.
And so how does this company not know what's going on with their product? Said that they need more information to find out what's going on with their product. And see, this is the part of the situation that was mentioned about these these hair products not being regulated. They're not being, tested before they make the product and stuff like that. They've been doing this shit for decades now. And then we're wondering why our women are having so many mental issues. A lot of these cancer causing products and lead and all this stuff has been seeping into our women's scalps for decades now. And then we reproduce with our sisters and stuff like that. And, it's already in their bodies that's been seeping into their bodies through the scalps. And then we reproduce with our sisters, and we have children that, possibly could have, issues and things like that too as well. Man, it's crazy out here. This is wild.
To these hair products.
And Consumer Reports is asking the FDA to investigate very quickly what happens next.
Yeah, so Consumer Reports actually has launched a petition urging the FDA for stricter regulations on synthetic hair fibers. Right now, as I mentioned, those do not exist. Of course, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy just instated last month, so it remains to be seen what his stance will be around some of these issues, but a lot are pushing and hoping for change, guys.
All right, Zane Clay, thank you so much.
Yes, and hopefully, Robert Kennedy gets in there. He's already working with the food, things like that. I did my report on that a while back. It's on my channel. I did my broadcast on that. And yes, man, I'm hoping that they go head on and figure out this hair situation with these dyes and all types of stuff that our sisters are using and things like that. Because Jesus Christ, if they're coming out with this information now, the hair industry seems to be truly unregulated with the things that they are putting together to make these products for our women. And yes, man, it's a huge issue out here, but it is what it is though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.